Hello adventurists, welcome to another Adventures with Paul. Guess where I am? I'm in my Airbnb before I start the Around Ohio trip. I'm going to be joining the Ohio to Erie Trail again, and then I'm going to loop over to the North Coast Inland Trail and then come kind of almost due south. We will catch you on the trail tomorrow. Sometimes Airbnbs come through. I got some coffee on here, and I'm going to try this Kind breakfast protein bar. All right, just before 6:30 in the morning. Let's get rolling, man. I've got 640 miles on the navigation, ready to rock and roll over 10 days. That's going to be fun, and I'm looking forward to this one. The bike feels real good, nice and solid, handling real well. I'm in Spring Valley. About 10 months ago, I stayed right out there behind that backdrop over in Constitution Park. It was a warm evening, but it was just the beginning of that heat wave that rolled through in June of 2024. As you ride along these routes, you find information on other trails. Apparently there's a Buckeye Trail, which is a circumnavigation hiking trail around Ohio. Xenia Station. Fill up when you can. We've got some railroad memorabilia just coming out of Xenia Station. So that stuff's pretty cool. Go. They're pointing roughly in the direction I'm going, which is excellent. Big something. The road that I originally mapped to go on said closed. But I saw that there was a cut through here near the old depot, which is behind me. It's a little bit rough, but saved me from riding all the way back into town. London's got some pretty cool murals. There's Columbus. You can tell I'm in an urban area. It's a lot louder with the traffic. We've got some train traffic above. I love riding under trains, man. Just the sheer power of that. Welcome to day 2. Today's destination is Danville, where I'm camping. I'm going to look forward to that actually. I haven't camped since last June when I did my Ohio to Erie connecting and then Gap and C&O down to DC. So looking forward to a little bit of a campsite tonight. I'm going to have to get some food, bring it there. Kind of tough to see with the backlit sunlight, but that is the Ohio Stadium where the Ohio Marching Band does some crazy formations during their halftime shows. So look up, the best band in the land. Getting back down through some stairs, they've got these little bike ramps that you can go down, which is really nice, and it makes it easier to get back on the trail. So thanks, Ohio. This is what they call the backyard garden, and it's pretty nice. You got a little trellis there, you got some flowers coming up, and I'm just going to walk my bike through here and then get back on the trail. Not my favorite section of the Olentangy Trail. The Olentangy Trail is an alternate route for the Ohio to Erie. I actually think the Alum Creek Trail is a little bit more peaceful because once you get off the trail, it's a lot of this. A lot of traffic, people trying to get to work in the morning. I'm on a gravel trail here at the Alum Creek Lake and Dam. We're just next to it. You can't see it through the trees at this point, but we're going to be rounding the corner and then heading across the dam. I stopped in the Dam Visitor Center before riding on the dam earthworks, and then I'll probably be routed through the dam gift shop. It's a little bit rough here. It's just earthworks, but it's pretty awesome. Not often you get to be way high up on a dam looking out over the valley. I hope the shot comes out pretty smooth because it's just dirt and grass here. It's a nice view behind me though, I'll tell you that. The trail forces you left here because the section going straight isn't complete. So it's a little bit of gravel above the road. Kind of fun. Denied. Just a bit off the trail in Centerburg. What would you expect to find in Centerburg? Well, the Centerburg geographical center of Ohio. So I'm in the most central place in Ohio. Here at the Centerburg Church of God, I'm giving them a shout out. They stock that refrigerator with water, and it's free to any of the cyclists on the Ohio to Erie Trail. So way to go, guys. Okay, here we are. The highest point on the Heart of Ohio Trail. High point on the Heart of Ohio, which is part of the Ohio to Erie, which means this is the highest part of my entire tour, or going around Ohio. Here's something you don't often get to ride next to, a drag racing strip. I'll bet this gets really loud when they're running races here. Well, here it is, my campsite for the night. It's a primitive campsite at Danville. It's free, which is a bonus. And then I've got about 27 miles before I get breakfast. So I have some Cliff Bars, which I'll use before I head off. And then I have about 3.5 bottles worth of water, so that should definitely get me to the coffee shop in Millersburg, and that'll be good. Good morning. Up in the tent. It is 53 degrees this morning. The tent was super comfy last night. You can hear the birds. It's just before 6 o'clock, and I'm gonna slowly start transitioning into a move on the bike day. Goodbye, campsite. That was fun. It was a nice night, restful. I mean, I woke up a few times, but otherwise it was a good, restful evening. It's in the low 50s Fahrenheit this morning, and I'm up and about at 6:30. This is day 3, adventurists. This is gonna have most of the on-road section, and it's gonna be very hilly, up and down, but about 67 miles, and then camping tonight. So another day, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm getting into it now. I haven't camped since last year, and I really look forward to it. In this part of Ohio, there's a lot of Amish who hold to the old ways of horse and buggies. So on these trails, they're used by bicyclists, walkers, and horse and buggy. So you pass some of them at some times, and it's pretty neat to kind of cross paths with them. Skies have gotten a little darker. I've heard 2 rumblings of thunder coming in. I don't know, it doesn't look good. I'm gonna reorganize my clothing pannier to put my rain jacket on top just in case we actually get this rain that may be coming. It seems like it's getting darker by the minute. Yeah, that blue sky is not a filter. That is rain cloud. But looks like I've got a shelter up here. I am going to take advantage of this. I'm going to wait out this rain here while the thunder rumbles in the background. You see the flash of lightning? And then I'm going to get back on the trail. Head into Glenmont. I know there's another shelter in Glenmont if I have to wait out that one. And then it's totally exposed for about 7 or 8 miles till I get into Kilbuck. The rain came over, took about 25 minutes of sitting in the shelter, but the rain blew over, and now I'm just on a wet trail heading into Glenmont. Ooh, listen to those disc brakes howl. Into Glenmont, I'm gonna go check out, apparently they have a spring, a freshwater spring. Yeah, that's a no for me. I don't have a filter, so I'm just gonna pass this. Just out of the Broken Grounds coffee shop in Millersburg, they make a BG breakfast sandwich, which now they've called the BG breakfast melt, and it is really good. They make it with a Texas toast. It seems to be laced in maple syrup. I said this before in 2023, but for those of you who are new watching this, you haven't heard this. So really good. Took a nice 45-minute break or whatever, recharged some devices, and now I'm headed off to Massillon. More to come. If you're questioning why I'm riding on the left-hand side of the road instead of the normal right-hand side, it's because this trail is shared by horses and bicyclists. So horses are not allowed on this side of the road, which keeps less of the horse waste off of this side. And plus, if you look at the difference in the pavement between the two, it's less impact on this side, which makes this side of the road smoother. I was just riding down the trail and thought, man, it's silent. Nothing but the breeze. This is awesome. Okay. This is gonna be a heck of a climb here. And away we go. So here I am on the big climb outside of Fredericksburg. So I'm on a 10% grade right now, which is why I'm going very slowly. You can see it keeps going up all the way out there into the distance. So I'm gonna grind this out and then stop at the top and take a break. While I have this really nice backdrop, I'll let you in on a fun story. About a week ago, I was riding on my local greenway. I didn't have this shirt on, which is going to be important later on. And I ride by two touring cyclists and I said, "Hey, you guys out for a day ride or you going on a long haul?" And the guy says, "Paul?" I'm like, "Yeah." He says, "I'm a subscriber." So I ran into Tom and his wife Bonnie and we rode along for a little bit. And it's not like I have a billion subscribers or whatever, but he said he recognized me even without my trademark t-shirt here. So that's really cool. All right, so which is it? Left or straight? You can hear the rain started again. It's about 20 after 1. I've been going for almost 2 hours outside of my delicious breakfast sandwich. So I just took refuge under this little barn overhang. I'm mostly filled up and I ferried water, but still, it's a nice little oasis on the trail. Now on the Cuyahoga Valley Trail, which is another one of those trails that make up the network of the Ohio to Erie. I'll just pass by slowly. How about that? I think today doesn't know what it wants to do. The sun's out now and it's hot, but it goes from rain to sunny and hot and windy and then cloudy, a little bit of spritz of rain. Sun comes out 3 minutes later. Look at this. Fresh paved asphalt. So smooth. Hello adventurists. Heading out of the Hampton Inn. I avoided the rain last night by being in the hotel, so I didn't have to worry about camping. I have a 60-mile day or so today, maybe a little less. I'm gonna try and reroute a bit. Still looks like streets are wet. That means the trail's probably gonna be wet. I'm gonna be going on some dirt sections today. So I will check in with you as I hit the trail. Leaving Massillon in my wake. I've forgotten how rural this area is, going through the forest next to the canal. It's really scenic. You can hear the traffic noises from the highway on the other side of the trees in the canal. Workers going to work on a Friday morning. But I'm on the trail and life is good. I got a creek next to me on one side. I got the old remnants of the canal on the other. And it's just really nice listening to the birds this morning. This lock, lock 2, and the lock you see all the way out in the distance, lock 3, were 2 of the 146 locks on the Ohio to Erie canal path that went 308 miles between Lake Erie and Portsmouth, Ohio on the Ohio River. So, interesting bit of history. Closed. I gave it a shot. I went around the barrier. Don't tell anyone. And it looks like I can get down to the side, but then on the other side there's all this construction netting that kind of goes all the way out into the canal. So I'm going to look at an alternate on the side road. I'm going to go left. Low ceiling. This is some really nice infrastructure where the trail goes under a low-hanging road or old railroad bridge. They built these little boardwalks, and here it goes into the Summit Lake Nature Center, and there's a boardwalk because there's no room on the side. As you can see, that's all a freight yard. Goose are saying good morning. Good morning, geese. Bike needs a good wash, or a half decent wash, or a mediocre wash, but it needs a wash. I sat here at the Summit Lake gathering space, but nobody gathered around. The chairs here were ginormous. Going through Akron is pretty nice, actually. As I was coming into Akron, the geese ruled the pathways. Downtown Akron is actually kind of nice. I'm not going to make a stop, I'm just going to go right through. I stayed here 2 years ago at the Blue Teak Hotel. Got to give a huge shout out to downtown Akron for this bike infrastructure going right through the middle of the city. Well, that route's a no-go. So check the map. Looks like there's a pull-off about a mile back that I can go off and get on the road, and then loop up with the trail just over that culvert. This is a detour. That water, I'm not sure how deep it is. It'll be nice when I get out on the other side of this, but man, this is like what, 4.1 grade, climbing up this old road bed. I'm gonna be glad when I finish this detour. I didn't beat out the rain. It's coming down very lightly now. If it gets any heavier, I'll break out the rain gear, but Right now I'm just climbing a 3% on a bike lane. So I'm here with Superman, and we both agree we're calling this tour. It was just the next 5 days were going to be rain, 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 rain. So, and it wasn't even a 20% or 10% chance, because I'd take that, but it was like 70%, 60% easily. And it was going to be for the next 5 days, which is probably about another 300 miles of riding in the rain. The temperatures were going to be in the mid 40s, so that's hypothermia territory. So I said, rather than just be miserable, I'm going to shift some things around. I got a rental car from the Cleveland airport. I'm going to drive down to Dayton, which is the closest airport that I can find, and drop off the car, and then ride my bike or get an Uber to the Airbnb where my car is, and then go home. So not the ending to the tour that I expected, but probably the best decision that I could have made with a terrible, terrible weather forecast. With this breeze going, it is chilly out here, and this is definitely the right call. This is chilly and cold, and it's just drizzling now, but it goes all the way. You can just see that jet went right up into the clouds. That's how low the cloud cover is.